Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Bravo Music Academy. I'm Miss Christie, and this is Teacher Tip Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're catching us live, please say hello. I have a little new setup today, and it looks like things are really close. So we're going to try that. We'll see if that helps. Sorry if you're catching us live, say hello. If you're catching us on the replay sometime later this week, another month, another year, say hello as well. I would love to chat with you about today's topic. And before we dive in, I have a couple questions for you. Did your child have a break from their lessons for the holidays? Are they having a tough time getting back into the swing of things? We're in the second week of January. It's the 12th. We're almost halfway through January already, which just seems totally crazy and wild to me. It feels like Christmas was last week. It really does. But when we have breaks, we had a break here at the Academy. And when we have breaks like that, sometimes it takes a little extra time and a little extra effort to get our normal routine going back full swing. And for school, that's fairly easy. This year it's a little different because a lot of schools are still virtual or hybrid. But for music lessons, it can be a pretty tricky thing to get done. And especially if you are a non-musical parent. And by non-musical parent, I just mean that you have not taken instrument lessons, that you have maybe only done music in school, in classes, or that you really have no musical knowledge at all. You were not exposed to it as a child or as an adult. That's what we're going to talk about today. I have 4 tips for you to help your child practice, and these are 4 tips for the non-musical parent. Musical parents, you guys are more than welcome to use these tips as well, but I designed them specifically for parents so you don't have to worry about getting into the nitty-gritty of exactly what they're doing and thinking about it like that super hard trigonometry question that your high school student might come home with, or the new way of doing multiplication and division. I've seen a few things that I never learned, and I can just bang out math problems in 30 seconds and they're still making their charts. So if that's what your kids' music looks like and what their assignments look like to you, then stick around because we're going to get into some really good things to help your kids get back on track and get their music flowing. So here we go. Number 1. The first thing is probably one of the most simple, and it's just to ask them to show you their assignments. When they show you, especially younger children, they are naturally going to want to not just show you the book, they're going to want to show you how they play it. And you can even word it that way. Show me how you play this. Oh, what does that mean? Guided questions like that really will help your child spark their interest again and get them back into the swing of playing and of practicing. And okay, we're still live. I'm sorry. I thought I lost you for a second there. So ask them to show you their assignments and talk it through with them. And that brings me to tip number 2, which is to read the directions with your child or to your child. Now, here at the Academy, we take kids as young as 3 years old, and most 3-year-olds don't know how to read. So they really need your help in reading the directions and knowing what they need to be practicing for the week. But you can do this with older children as well. Sit down with them and have them read through the directions. You would be surprised at how many times I've had a student come into their lesson and say, Miss Christie, I really didn't understand what I was supposed to practice this week. And I would say, all right, let's take a look at the page. Not the page that I wrote, but their page of music. And we look at it and I say, go ahead and read that first paragraph for me. And they read it and I say, what do you think that means? And they know exactly what it means. And then they go and they play it and they know exactly what to do. And all they needed was a little guidance in reading the directions. So if you can give them that guidance at home, you are giving them that extra leg up before their next lesson the following week. That's number 2. Here we go, moving on to number 3. By the way, if you are just joining us live, please say hello. I saw a couple people pop on in there. I'd love to chat with you. Today we are talking about helping your child practice when you are a non-musical parent. All right, the third one is one of my favorite things to do in lessons, and your kids are going to love it even more coming from you. That is having them be the teacher. Kids love this. I don't know what it is about it, but they love it when I say, hey, why don't you teach me about what you learned last week? They get so stinking excited. They really do. Oh, I see somebody. Who is there? Hello, Mr. Danny Maud. How are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. So they love it. And I will tell you, one of the best ways that I know of to be sure that you know something is to teach it. Teach it to someone else. So if you see a symbol on your kids' music that you've never seen before, ask them to tell you about it. If they don't know, it's totally okay. Because what you can do is you can go on over to Google and you can search what that word is or what that symbol is, and you will find it because it's all over. I'm telling you, all music symbols are all over. So have your kids be the teacher. Let them show you what should be done. The last one, number 4, probably the most important from my perspective as a private music teacher. Make sure that they practice right after their lesson. That is the most important time for them to practice. We lose, I believe it's something crazy, like 90% of all of our knowledge that we learned within the first 24 to 48 hours. Poof, gone. The only way to get it back is to relearn it. So if you can reinforce and solidify what they've learned right away, they are so much less likely to forget it. So even if you go, the academy is right across the street from a grocery store. So we have a lot of parents who they pick up their kids, they go to the grocery store, they go home. As soon as they walk in that door, have them sit down and just play through. It doesn't have to be a big, long practice session. All it has to be is just a playthrough of all of the new things that they learned. And in that time, if you have the time, if you're not making dinner or cleaning up after homework or something, you can go through some of those other tips. You can ask them to show you what's new and ask them to show you what they already had known previously. You can read the directions with them. And then you can sit down and be an audience member for them. And just have them play and enjoy their assignments. And then when they come back to practice the next time, they are going to remember even more of what they had learned in their lesson, and their practice will be more successful. So they'll be more motivated to sit down on their own more and more and more. So that's it. That's everything for today. And you know what? I think I snuck a little bonus 5th one in there with the listening, because you can totally just ask your kids to play you a concert. Ask them to show off their skills. They would love it. Kids love our attention. So let's give it to them in the most positive way that we can. All right, let's do a really, really quick recap. While I'm doing that recap, if you are a music teacher or a musical parent and you can think of a way that would help a non-musical parent or a child with their practicing, let me know. Drop it down below and I will read it out before we end today. And if you're catching this on the replay, write it out because we'll all get to see it there too. All right, number one is to ask them to show you their assignments. When we do this, we're not just going to be seeing what is physically on the page, but we're also going to be able to hear them and see them play. They will be encouraged to go for it. Number two is to read the directions with or to your child. If your child can read, totally have them read. If they're in the process of learning how to read, then have them read it and help them with the words that are new. If you don't know how to pronounce a word, you can learn it together. There are a lot of Italian words in music which are confusing because most of us don't speak Italian. So look it up and learn something new together. Number three is to have them be the teacher. Let them flex their learning skills by showing you how to play what they know how to play. Number four is to make sure that they practice right after their lesson. Walk in the door, don't just put the books down, put the bag down, take the music out, and put it on the stand, on the instrument, on the piano, whatever it is, have them play through everything. And number five, our bonus tip that was a surprise to me, might be a surprise to you. Number five is to listen. Listen to your kids play. Ask them to play for you anytime. They will love to. Well, that's all from me today. I hope you have a wonderful musical week. If you think of anything, let me know. If you think of a parent who or a friend who could benefit from this broadcast, I do hope that you will share it with them and help spread the love of music to everyone around the world. All right, guys, I will catch you next week. Have a wonderful musical week, and I'll see you later. Bye.